The Army Painter is my favorite hobby company in the entire world. My desk is literally full of Army Painter products, and it takes me from being an average painter to putting above tabletop standard models out into the tournament scene. Not only that, but the Army Painter has sponsored more competitive play than any other hobby company in the industry. They allow us to keep doing the things that we do. If you enjoy the Army Painter as much as I do, head over to thearmypainter.com where you can use the discount code ARTOFWAR5 to get a discount on your next order. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Hype Art of War live stream. It is me, Richard, and I'm joined by the wonderful Jack Harpster. We're going to be discussing the World Championships of Warhammer, previewing it. Last night, not only were the groups / pods revealed, where everybody's kind of tucked into a group of 16 players that are going to fight for a spot in the final championship bracket, but also the lists were revealed. So we're going to go through some lists that myself and Jack are playing and some of the other Art of War people. But if you do have questions for us in the meanwhile, feel free to super chat, as we will be answering them as usual in our live shows. And we definitely welcome that support. If you do end up enjoying the content, hang out with us, please do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow as a channel. In addition, leave a comment below letting us know how you're feeling overall about the meta. What are you most excited about for the World Championships? Are you going to watch any live stream? There's going to be international streams. There's going to be the US Open Games Workshop stream. So there's going to be a lot of content from this one and a lot of hype matchups. So hopefully you'll be tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm super jazzed, man. I'm looking forward to the World Champs this year, and I'm excited. It's just going to be a really big get together. It's going to be the pinnacle of all the Warhammer and happening this year, and I'm excited to go.
Yeah,
we got people from all over the world.
All over the world. There's country points on the line. Whichever countries end up performing the best will also win some additional prizes. There's also some really cool trophies and such that they've made up this time. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to meet a lot of new people, make some brand new 40K friends, but also meet some older friends again who I haven't seen in a while.
Absolutely. Well, so everybody's been divided into pods. So you got 16 little mini tournaments going on. And then when those 16 little mini tournaments are done after 4 rounds, the top 16, the undefeated players, will go into a top 16. Everyone else will go into a pool, and they'll all play each other based off your record.
Yep.
So we're going to get 8 games of Warhammer coming up in the next week. And we're going to be fighting for a spot in that top 16.
Yeah, a lot of great players here from all over the world. There's a lot of different lists. There's a lot of diversity. I can actually go through kind of the overall breakdown of factions here, and it might honestly surprise you.
It surprised the heck out of me. I'll tell you that much for free.
So number 1 is actually the Necrons. Now, if you follow competitive 40K the last 2 years, or even longer than that, honestly, Necrons have been one of the most popularly played factions competitively because it was in a very recent starter box, and it also got a good codex. It had a good index. People like playing Necrons.
Yeah.
And so I'm not too surprised to see there's a lot of them, but to be number 1 at 30 people, that's a lot.
But speaking of people who play Necrons, RoboCon, or Gavin Con, is going to be here. I think he's in group 2, I want to say. I think Gavin's in group 2. But he's awesome. I got a chance to play him. Yep. Yes, I got him. I got a chance to play him this last weekend. I always love playing Gavin. He's a gem. He's local, actually. I mean, more or less, I think.
Yeah, Florida's local.
Florida area, yeah. So it's going to be awesome to see you there, Gavin.
Absolutely. So 30 Necron players, the vast majority of which are playing a variety of the thick Hypercrypt lists, where you got a lot of big vehicles floating around the board trying to kill you. Then next up, not surprising to me.
This is not surprising at all.
Astra Militarum at 26 people.
Yeah, Guard being the second most. Which one is the most popular would have that surprised me. But the second most popular being Guard, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Guard has been extremely strong the last several months and honestly last year. And now they are probably at their peak that they've been in terms of comparison to the other parts of the meta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we have Blood Angels coming in third at 17 players. Also surprising.
That also surprises me. I like the Codex. I like the Blood Angel Codex. I think some of their units are a little bit overpriced. For me, that Codex falls pretty firmly in the solid but nothing amazing tier. just a solid book. It'll help you, but nothing like jumps out at me as like, play this, it's broken. Which I would have expected from the third most popular army in the event. So
I would have expected
that's cool.
Sisters to be up there.
I would have expected Sisters to be number one, and they're not.
I could see Guard being number one, but
Sisters are Guard, yeah, for sure.
Blood Angels at 17 players. There's a lot of faith in the Blood Angels, and should be pretty interesting because we don't know what missions we're playing. That's completely random, or not random, but hidden.
Yeah.
So with that, you could be playing on a bunch of layout 7s, layout 8s, where Blood Angels are a really, really strong faction to contend with.
Yeah. If I have to play Blood Angel on table 7, it's going to be a rough time. It's not going to be fun.
Then Tau Empire coming in at number 4 with 16 players, just under the Blood Angels.
I'm doing my part.
You're doing your part for the greater good, Jack.
That's right. I'm playing Ret Cadre again.
A lot of really good players coming. I believe most of them are playing Retaliation Cadre or Kalyan. I believe those are the two most popular detachments.
I've seen a ton of Retaliation Cadre. I know that Trainer Wolf is playing it. We talked a bit about
Isn't
lists.
Zach Point playing it?
I also talked to him about lists.
Kyle Grundy is here.
Is Monsieur Grundy?
He was playing a lot of Retaliation Cadre. Maybe he's playing Kalyan. Let's see. He's playing Retaliation Cadre.
He's playing Retaliation. That is cool. Okay, cool.
So he's playing it. Jason McKenzie has played a lot of it. Let's see him.
Yep.
And
There we go.
All right. Come on, Jack. Yeah, I know these things. Retaliation Cadre. It is the most popularly played detachment. I think Lewis Smith is playing Kalyan. He is playing Kalyan. So Tau, pretty darn popular here. Next up is the Adepta Sororitas at number 15 players.
That one makes sense to me. Sisters are cranked. I can't believe they're the 5th most represented faction.
Is Quinn one of the few not taking any exorcists?
Probably.
I've heard, I think John was counting the number of exorcists in his pod, not Sisters players, but exorcists.
Oh, we have Alex Sacco in the chat. It's good to see you, buddy. I extensively discussed my Retaliation Cadre list with Alex, and he was incredibly helpful in getting it to where it is.
Absolutely. We got a super chat here from Mr. Ryan G. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Do you guys think the Ethereal should go down in points since Crew Riders, Riptides going up? I have the World Eaters problem of my Tau being at 1975 points. I could definitely see him going down. His ability for joining a unit is utterly useless and has never been used.
What does he do?
He gives his unit 5 of Pain, but he can't go in Crute.
He goes in like Breachers and
You
stuff?
would think about putting him in 20 Crute for sure, in the Crute detachment, but yeah, he can go in Breachers or Strike Team, and it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And then on a 4-up, he can give you a CP, but that's not, I get a CP, like Azrael or whatnot, so I could see it. His other rule really is quite disappointing. He does no damage whatsoever, and he also doesn't have for the greater good, so he can't be used as a little marker light kind of guiding tool.
Yeah.
So I could totally see that. Absolutely. He should probably go back down where the Fireblade was.
Yeah. Speaking of Sacco, by the way, I'm sure we've announced it, but I just want to also say...
Oh, we did announce it.
We did.
Yeah.
He is now a part of the Art of War, luckily for us.
I'm going to promote him to a moderator.
Yes.
With great power comes great responsibility, my friend.
Imagine if he's a...
if he's a fake Alexander.
He's a fake Sacco.
I know it's him. All right, and then we have Super Baharoth, $5 super chat. I qualified for Worlds, Colin K, but couldn't get there Thursday off, which is sad because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not just a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of tournament, and can't be there. Have fun. Well, we're going to miss you and wish you could have made it, but hopefully next year you'll be able to qualify and maybe get off work on that extra day.
Yeah, that is so close.
So darn close.
Oh, that sucks.
But at least there'll be a lot of streams, and hopefully the vibe will kind of, go, be accessible through the stream.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have next up. So that was Sisters at 15, Tyranids at 14. So that's a good amount of Tyranids.
It's a good amount of Tyranids. I think Tyranids are quite solid.
There's a decent amount of diversity in them, but I think it is mostly Invasion Fleet. That's going to be the most popular here.
It's really tough to take other stuff because Invasion Fleet just buffs everything, and it has good buffs. 5 of Feel No Pain, getting sustained 5s in melee, getting lethal or sustained depending on what you're targeting. It's just all good.
There's some good Tyranid players as well. Like Sam Pope is going to be here. I believe he's playing Tyranids. Let's see.
I'd be surprised if he weren't, right?
Yep, no, he's playing Tyranids, and he's got the Invasion Fleet. That's probably with all these Termagons. Yep. A very strong list.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from Tyranids, we got Aldari at 13.
I mean,
Pretty surprising.
The Eldar diehards will just play Eldar forever.
That 13's a lot.
13's a lot. I don't think Eldar's terrible. I just think that Exorcists and Aquilons are bad for them.
And Hypercrypt.
That too. That too.
Yeah, there's some tough matchup. Retaliation Conjure's not great for them either, to be honest.
No, it's
then Death Guard,
no, that's bad. No, it's not good.
Death Guard coming in next at 11 players. This has I wouldn't have expected this before the October update, but with it, I can absolutely see Death Guard gaining quite a bit. And
Death Guard, yeah.
one of the players in my pod is running 20 Blightlord Terminators.
What?
Yeah.
How many Death Shrouds?
Just one unit of Death Shrouds.
Feels like the ratio is a bit off there, but
it's a lot of Terminator beef for cheap.
It is. It's not expensive at all. What I will say is that me and Quentin were considering Death Guard quite strongly before this event, which is not really in my wheelhouse at all. And 18 Death Shroud Terminators of Mortarion is very much not in his wheelhouse either. But it did some respectable things in testing. The reason we ended up not taking it was because of a lack of feeling like we had agency in our games. They were slow. It's a slow army. It tends to just get shot. And if you roll average or above average, you tend to be fine. And if you roll below average, it's not great. And I definitely played a game where sometimes I passed too many saves, sometimes I failed too many saves, and I just found out how the game went based off of that. And I was like, wow, this is just not for me right now. But it is a very good army, and if you're playing into it, you gotta be very careful. -1 weapon skill and ballistic skill contagion is very, very strong.
Disgusting.
It's super good if you can get it up on your
Because they got
opponent.
minuses to hit too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And we developed a version of the list that I think is a meta force. It's just not the meta force we decided to take. It's like Mortarion 18 Death Shroud characters, 3 Myphitic Blight Haulers, which are like shockingly the best vehicle in that codex, and then 3 Predators and trash after that.
Yeah, if you want to see the power of it, check out the War Room at thewarroom.vhx.tv. Last week we played Dark Angels, John's killer Dark Angels list into the Death Shrouds, and that Death Guard list put on a show.
It did, for sure.
Really
and that
good.
was without any of the Myphitic Blight Haulers.
No
or
shooting,
Predators.
just taking triple Vindicator turn after turn.
Yeah, and it ended up being fine.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah.
Then we got Redrum here with another super chat. Thank you so much, Redrum. You need to check the list of Nemo the Fish. Is that somebody's actual name in here? Oh, it is.
It is.
Astra Militarum. Thank you to Eric, Riley, Alexa, Andy, who made going to WCW possible. That's cute. Cadian Command Squad, Death Corps Marshal, Gaunt's Ghost.
This is going to get really stupid in a second, I can tell.
3 Tempestus Command Squads, Sly Marvo, Ursula Creed, 1 Cadian Squad, and a bunch of troops, a lot of cavalry.
Yes. 40 Death Corps of Krieg.
Max Casterkin, Max Aquilons.
0 tanks.
All the bodies in the world.
Is there a single transport in here either?
No, there's not a single dedicated
Can I
transport.
please play this?
You're going to love, honestly, because it's on brand. You actually know Charles, but he's in my group. Guess what his list is? He's got Uvrain, right?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wave Serpents, triple Viper, 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Cabalites that are going to split up with all the Venoms that are about to show up. Mandrakes, Reavers, 4 Venoms.
Hell,
Bodies on the board.
Brother. It's just transports with dudes. So the reason I wanted to play that list is because it's like my favorite. It's the best part of 40K for me over and over, which is me just shooting and removing units. It's just not best, but like the most fun is just hitting your opponent and just scooping tons of dudes. And he has tons more dudes. That's the point, right? It'd be fun.
All right, so that's very fun. We've got Chaos Demons and Leagues of Votann next at 10 each. Pretty surprising. Good amount of Leagues of Votann here. Good amount of demons. I haven't looked through every person's list, mostly the ones in my group. But also in the middle here are Space Marines and Thousand Suns at 10 players each. So Thousand Suns did get some nerfs. Not as popular as I would have imagined before October, but 10 is still a pretty good amount of players.
There's more Space Marines than Dark Angels. What is going on?
Ultramarines Vanguard. It is legitimately strong.
It is legitimately strong.
Bunch of players running
legitimately
it.
very strong. I mean, I'm worried about it. It just deep strikes on you. It does my thing, but to me,
And can 3.1 away on multiple units.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
All right, then we've got Custodes here, Dark Angels, Imperial Knights, Space Wolves, and World Eaters at 9 players each. 2 of the World Eater players are in my group. And then in terms of Imperial Knights, we've got Brian Jones going back to his Imperial Knight roots.
No, he didn't take Votan?
He didn't take the Votan.
He didn't take Votan? Well, we got his list up here.
Yeah, we're going to look at it in a second.
I didn't even look. I just assumed he was taking Votan.
No, I think he wants to represent the Knights. I think he wants the best Knights. Like, I want the best AdMech reward, whatever it is. Then next up is
he will be the best Knights. That's usually how that goes.
There's 9 of them.
There are 9 of them.
A lot of the European Knight players have done very well on this season.
That's true.
Chaos Space Marines, GSC, Grey Knights, next up with 7 each.
GSC being at 7.
Seems pretty low. I would have
really
expected
low.
between the Power of Biosanctic, Outlander, Claw, and a Host of Ascension, there to be probably like 15 plus GSC.
I would have thought that. It's
Really
legitimately
good
a good army now. I was considering Biosanctic. Also, I was considering a bunch of armies. I was considering serious consideration. I considered about 5. And then like fringe consideration, I considered like 8. And GSC was one of the ones I seriously considered. Ultimately, I didn't take it because of its inconsistency. Same thing with the Death Guard. It's inconsistent because you can just, oops, I didn't get any of my stuff back. Or oops, I got all my stuff back. Oops. 2 different games. You don't have any control over which of those games you live in.
Next up, we've got the Adeptus Mechanicus. Well, it's Drukhari and Orcs have 6. AdMech have 5. And not too surprising there. Drukhari at 6 seems perfectly reasonable for the diehards. We got Skari here running them. He's in my group. Then Orcs, possibly a little low, but it's a risky army. You go second against the wrong army on the line, and you take a lot of damage, man.
Another army I considered and rejected for inconsistency. But Brad Chester's running it. He's in my pod, so I assume I'm going to play him at some point. It's going to be a fun game.
Definitely. Then finally, we've got Black Templars, Chaos Knights at 3, and Agents of the Imperium do in fact have 2 players here.
Incroyable. Incroyable.
One of them is Rob Moreland, I believe. But yeah, nice mix of armies here, and really excited to see it. So let's dive into lists, starting with Mr. Jack, or my list.
Yeah.
I stole your thunder. Do you want to go first?
No, we can cover.
I meant to do
but
you
first,
first.
we're going to cover Grokvar.
Heck yeah!
Gifted 5 Art of War 40K memberships. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grokvar. If you were gifted a sub so generously by Grokvar, please do click that accept button. Head over to Discord, then click the user settings, connections tab, and the YouTube icon, and sync your accounts, and you get access to our awesome international Discord community.
Mr. Scott Sasser didn't have an Art of War 40K membership already.
Scott, come on now.
I'm looking at you, bud. All right.
So the Adeptus Mechanicus, Skitarii Hunter cohort, all 5 lists here for the AdMech players are all Skitarii Hunter cohort. No surprise there. I only have 1 Marshal. I've cut back on the amount of troops and transports that I've been running. Played a lot of AdMech the last couple of tournaments, and it's kind of hard to hide multiple transports on some of these boards. Layout 4 stands out. Layout 3, 5. I don't know what layout we're playing on. So I was like, all right, well, if we play a bunch of layout 4 for whatever reason, I ain't hiding my transports, and that's not really good. So I cut it down to just the most important transport, which is Battlesphere Uplink, the Vanguard.
Dude who gets out, shoots, gets back in, gets out, shoots, gets back in.
Yeah, that
Gross.
guy. Full rerolls to hit.
And wound if you shoot with
wound.
the transport.
Yep.
Ah.
And instead of having extra marshals, which I was normally running, I've added 2 techno-archaeologists because the meta has 3.1 away literally all over the place, and these are the 2 12-inch no-go zones. So you have Akelons from Guard. I don't want them blowing up my backfield. You've got Inceptors from the Ultramarines Vanguard, which is super popular right now. You've got Retaliation Cadre.
No, it's fine. I would never go 3 inches in your backfield, Richard.
You ain't.
It's okay. Run the techno archaeologist forward. It'll be fine.
you ain't getting.
It'll be all right.
Hypercrypt, Grey Knights, Demons can do it. GSC Host of Ascension lists. I was like, all right, I do not want things in my backfield. Stop. Techno-archaeologists.
I considered taking Darkstrider for the same reason, but ultimately, 2 mortars has a really good chance to just kill Darkstrider.
You have to run a second Pathfinder team that sits with him against indirect.
Or even a first in my case.
Yeah. So I think it's when it's on just a little character, I think it's much better when you can run multiple of them because now you cover way more space. When it's just Darkstrider, he'll cover your backfield kind of like corner, but he's not covering, your expansion or anything like that.
It's nice to have, but ultimately it's also that he'll just go and pick it out with like 2 mortars. Legitimately, the best case scenario would be that my opponent, without asking me, would just assume that he's a lone op. Because I know I would as the opponent.
No.
Then I'd have to sadly be like, what?
He should
Dark
be.
Striders
He
right
should
there.
be a lone op.
He should be. He should be a lone op.
He should be one of those characters where they're a lone op natively, but if they join the unit, they lose it.
It's not like Tau don't have good lone ops. I have the goddamn Ghost Keel.
Yeah. All right, then we got 1 unit of Rangers, sticky objectives, 2 Vanguard units minus OC. 2 Onager Dune Crawlers. This is the tech that I added in, which is, once again, US open boards have some long firing lanes, and when I expose my tanks, my Scorpius tanks that are down here, are they going to shoot at other firepower that I have out there, which is going to benefit from +1 ballistic shield, +1 to hit? No, probably not. And the second reason is because I'm not fitting the less durable transports, I needed some amount of things to finish off the stuff that the Scorpius tanks leave on a couple wounds, which happens all the time. And these are actually much more efficient than the neutron laser at killing those things. Because, you shoot 3 neutron laser shots, you get 1 through and you do 1 billion damage. It's like, okay, that feels wasted. But these guys will consistently pull off, the last couple wounds off of anything. And they're also very good into elite infantry and hordes. They're
It's also
all
very
good.
possible. The Dune Crawler's 3 shots on the neutron laser.
Yeah.
It's very possible that you just hit twice, wound once, they pass their save.
Yep.
And you did nothing.
The other part of it is I played against Ryan Burbeck's GSC at DreamHack, and all the mortar shots was actually extremely annoying, chipping down my units. Yeah, I can loan up 1 unit, but I can't loan up all the different units that aren't in transports. So the Onager, it also helps against extras. The Onager gives a 4-up invuln aura to battle line models nearby. So I can actually tank that a lot better than previously. All right. Then we've got somebody getting banned in chat. That's for sure.
That is what's happening right now.
Don't be silly. All right. Then we have 2 units of Skystalkers. So 2 10-man units here. I had been running just 1 10-man, but once again, the power of these units is absolutely incredible. They're game winners, amazing move blocks, amazing ability to contest objectives. So I went up to 2 10-mans and 1 5-man. And then I brought in 10 sterilizers, a flamer unit I hadn't been running. But once again, the meta right now, if you can't condense your army behind the ruins, you're just getting shot. So I needed more stuff that could come in from reserve and do damage.
Yeah.
So I brought them in. 2 infiltrator units here, and then the 3 Scorpius tanks. So a little bit less stuff than I was running. No Rust Stalkers
Still a
here.
lot of stuff, though.
Still a good amount of stuff, and then I shoot significantly harder, and I have a lot more durability stuff.
The disintegrators are really good into a lot of armies, just poking tanks down from range repeatedly.
Really, really good.
They're a real issue.
Mr. Jack. Oh, you want to do these super chats first?
Sure, let's do the super chats. So we got Warmaster Art with a £5 super chat. Says, Richard, will we ever see you taking Necrons at events? If yes, which list?
I have taken Necrons to events. Earlier this year, I played at the BFS Team Championships and brought the Necrons there. I had my Canoptic Core Doomstalker Silent King build. And then I think it was the previous year at ATC, I brought my multiple Catan Doomscythe build. Maybe that was the year before. But I have played Necrons at events. I love Necrons. Right now, I know that there's a lot of players playing them, but I feel like their damage can be a bit inconsistent with the low volume of fire and the random number of shots, and so that's why I didn't go for them this time around.
All right, Grokvar, $10 super chat says, Crab Walker Appreciation super chat.
All right, heck yeah, the crabs! I'm going to be just mowing up there.
Oh, that's right. I was trying to figure out what the Crab Walker was,
It's
but
the Dune Crawler.
It's the Dune Crawler.
It's the heavy phosphor, baby.
It's the Dune Crab Crawler.
Nobody expects the Dune Crawler. Crab time, baby. I had been testing a lot of different options, and I found if I'm not running more transports, I need something else that can fill that role of damage, and it's not Rust Stalkers, and the Onager with the heavy phosphor is the next best thing, and it's much more likely to survive.
All right, we got Peter Strode, $5 super chat, says, good luck to you guys in Atlanta. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support, and hopefully we will have that good luck.
And then we've got Janet Peterson, ruthless 40K quarterly reporter. She used to be intrepid, but it looks like there's been some things happen on the job. And now she's ruthless.
What makes a person ruthless? Really?
I mean, if you have to report on 40K all the time, man, What will be your official pod handshake? Hearing pod 6 is shake, predator hand class, parkour wall flip, high five across sixth dimension, high kick. I'm not legally allowed to disclose that to you. Sorry, Kyle. Kyle McCord we're going to cover his list. He is in pod 6.
Pod 6, and that's the handshake he'll be doing at the start of every game.
Yeah.
So look forward to seeing that. Hope you're working on your Pilates, Kyle. All right, so here you go, Jack.
All right, so we got Tau. I'm taking Retaliation Cadre. I love this army, first off. I played something very similar to this like 2.5 years ago at WTC. A lot of Tau Crisis suits running around the board. And then I played Retaliation Cadre like a week ago at a local team event, and I really like it. So I think it's also incredibly strong, and so I'm bringing it. So we've got 2 Cold Star Commanders with Fusion, 1 Enforcer with Quad Fusion. These are going to go in Sunforge. I'm not taking less than 3 Sunforge. That's just kind of the way it works. We've got the other 2 Commanders are in Enforcer. One has the Uppy Downy. They have 3 missiles and a cyclic piece because they're going in Star Scythe, and it does a ton of damage. Mm-hmm. They go to AP3 missiles, AP4 cyclic. Let's go. Strength 8 and 9 too on those. And then we've got something a little odd for Retaliation Cadre. I got 2 squads of 2 broadsides. I was running into problems, and the problems were that all my anti-tank is 12-inch range. All of it. Literally all of it is 12-inch range. And my opponents are taking like 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks. It's ridiculous, the meta right now.
Some of the guard lists have like 11 tanks.
Some of the guard lists have 11 tanks. And if 3 Sunforge units is what you're counting on to deal with it, whew, you got another thing coming. Also, the Sunforge can be a little bit pre-measurable on turn 1 and screenable on turn 2, which can be a bit of an issue. So having 2 broadsides setting up like a firing like crossfire down the center of the board means that if your opponent just jams their army into you, they're going to lose 2 tanks just to start off the engagement. Also, if your opponent pushes up a bunch of tank commanders, you have the ability to shoot your Sunforges, then leave, then shoot the broadsides at the tank commanders and kill them. Because unfortunately, if you shoot the tank commander to death, their rule to shoot on death happens immediately after they're destroyed. And the rule to run away after you shoot happens in the shooting phase. So they get to shoot you before you get to leave. And that is bad for a unit that gets within melter range of them.
Really bad.
It's really not good. It's really not good. But you get to shoot, leave, then shoot them with the broadsides, pick up their tank commanders. It gives me an answer to that as well. In addition, against exorcists, my opponents sit in the backfield with their exorcists. I have to outrange them. And if I leave all my stuff in the back, they're just going to rush into the center. So 2 squads of broadsides to counteract that. Finishing, going through the list.
Did you add the missile drones on there?
I did.
Excellent.
I added the missile drones. Cool. So I got some quantity of shot if they get, if I'm playing into maybe like orcs or something. They're not just dead useless. We've got 3 Star Scythe units, 2 of them with bursts, 1 of them with flamers. I like the cheap little 3-man flamer. Like, why is this 110 points? I'll never know. It's actually gross when it takes your backfield and overwatches and
Jack's gonna shoot them roll 1 on all the number of shots.
I've already done that. I've already gotten that out of the way. It's fine.
Do it again.
I played a practice game. It was okay. I rolled like 10 shots on them combined, and it was fine. It was not good, but it was fine. My opponent got to hold their home objective for a whole extra turn. 3 squads of Sunforge. They're just like the best unit in this detachment, I think. They do hellacious amounts of damage to tanks. There's a million tanks around.
I've been a long believer in Fusion.
Yeah, they're great. Love them. You got Ghost Keel here. Just 1. I used to run 2, but just 1 I think is enough. I've been convinced by Alex, by Sacco, that just 1 is enough, and it gives me the points to take stuff like broadsides, cover my behind. And then we get into the fact that I don't have a lot of trash because this is all pain, and I'm going to bring it to my opponent. We got 1 squad of Kroot and 3 squads of stealth suits. So just very focused list about doing damage and killing my opponent. And that's what we do.
Keep it simple, man.
Yeah. All right, that's what I got.
Cool. We got another super chat here from Mr. Matt Knight. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Good morning. What is a competitive Votan list? I just got 3K points for $300.
That is a great deal.
$300 for 3,000 points?
Yeah.
3,000 points of Votan is like the entire army times 3.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no, it is.
So you pretty much have every model. It really depends. The answer to your question depends on what terrain format you play on. If you play on US Open format, I think that the triple land fort build with anywhere between 10 to 15 Hearthguard, 1 to 3 Sagittars, some amount of the troops to split up and sticky objectives and hold them, and then 9 to 12 bikes. Whatever combination of that you like is very, very strong. And you'll have usually 1 to 2 Einir champions and a Iron Master with the enhancement of Brazen Glare.
Yeah.
So that's what you'd be looking at. You can check out all the lists that I've run with Votan more recently. If you're playing on WTC format, on the other hand, or very dense terrain where ruins are close together, the Berserks actually do quite a bit of damage, and you could run anywhere between 15 to 30 Berserks out of land forts as well. So you could cut down the amount of shooting and run more of that.
Yeah,
up to you.
Absolutely. I know that's good on WTC terrain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got options. Pick the terrain that you're playing on and tailor your list for that.
Yep. We got Cass Rahushadar, whose list we will be covering. Looking forward to seeing you gents soon. What mission are you hoping is not on the list? Unexploded ordnance.
Oh yeah, what a great mission. I mean, that one, multiple Dawn of Wars would be silly.
Yep.
But who knows? It could be anything.
We have Dawn Day. It's just Dawn of War Day.
Dawn of War Day.
Yeah.
The day where you die in your deployment zone.
Yay! Woo! That's what I always wanted.
But thanks so much, Cass. I hope you're having a great time and safe travels to Atlanta. We're really looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. We got Will Walker, $5 super chat, says, jamming bully boys in teams. Do y'all think double wagon is worth it on GW layouts? Yeah, I think double wagon's worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
just a good vehicle.
Brian Sipe has proved that double wagon is a very strong build.
Yeah, GW layouts tend to have pretty wide lanes to run down, which is good for things like the battle wagon. Not having to like navigate and serpentine around ruins is pretty good.
And then we got Mr. Nick Blackburn, who is saying that Kasra is ridiculously good looking, can confirm the man is handsome, the man's talented, and he's going to be in Atlanta. So if you want to come meet him, you want to get his signature, his autograph, come on down to Atlanta.
He is a gorgeous man.
Also, he paints his model as he paints his armies, specifically his Ultramarines, as gorgeous as he is, which is rock star quality.
The only things more beautiful than Cass are Cass's models.
Yes. Then we have Zach Point. Hey, Zach. Zach is somebody who's going to be at the tournament. We were mentioned he is playing Retaliation Cadre.
He is not.
Oh, he's not?
It looks like he didn't. I thought
Zach!
He was going to.
Oh my God. We're looking up Zach's list right now. You could read out his super chat while I get disappointed.
Zach says, Jack, you had the strength to do what I did not. You are the hope for the greater good now.
Sisters?
I fled you were playing Sisters?
If there's 3 exorcisms in here, friendship over, Zach.
There aren't.
There aren't.
There
okay.
are not.
It's saved. It's saved, but barely. It's on thin ice.
Yeah. You are the hope for the greater good now. I fled the Tau ahead of WCW. May Exorcists roll 1s against you. You know what? Never mind. You're all good in my book. If Exorcists all roll 1s against me, I don't care you're on Sisters. It's fine.
This is super similar to Quinton's list.
It is Quinton's list.
It looks very similar.
No, hold on. Triple Immolator, 3 Paragons, triple Castigator, 1 squad Dominions, 2 squads of Battle Sisters. Scroll up, please. The Triumph, Saint Celestine, Morvenvault. It is Quinton's list.
Okay.
It's good.
It's good.
Right.
It's good.
It's how you'll build it if that's the direction you want to go. It's very good.
Well, good luck to you, Zach. We'll definitely see you there. And, which pod is Zach in? Is anybody in his pod?
Zach Point is in group 15. Somebody is in his... I know somebody that I know is in his pod because I remembered hearing somebody say that Zach is in their pod.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Alejandro.
Alejandro Mancuso says he was happy to not see you on Cadre, but then I'm on it. Yay! That'll be cool to see you.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for those super chats. Let's dive back in.
Also, I want to just second Alex Sacco's point up above that dead models don't hold objectives. And so if you just kill them, then they don't hold any objectives.
Easy.
And you're fine.
It's a simple game plan.
Yeah.
Smooth brain.
No. It's got a lot of wrinkles up here.
Smooth.
I'm engineering the perfect scenario to render my opponent deceased.
Your smooth brain becomes their smooth brain. Everybody's brain is smooth. We got Colin Archer here with a $10 super chat. Thanks so much. Hey guys, love your channel. Visit warhammerstation.com for the ultimate Pariah Nexus terrain set. Top quality and unbeatable value. Explore now. Take your game to the next level. It's quite a pitch. It's quite a pitch. Better live up to that, Colin. Thanks so much for your super chat. All right. So Nick's list, the Nasavati variation.
Yeah, I believe he was talking to Naz about this.
The Nasavati. So he's Bringers of Flame. He's got 1 Canonist with the enhancement. Then 1 unit of Battle Sisters, that'll be split up by the Immolator. The Novitiates will be split up by the other one. 3 Castigators.
How original.
Double Exorcist.
Okay.
2 Paragon units, no Vol in here.
Okay, it is actually kind of original.
Double Seraphim squad for the move blocks.
Nick just couldn't submit a list that did not have Seraphim in it.
No, he wouldn't do that. But he's got double, not triple Exorcist, double. But this shoots hard, man. You're
It
out in the
does.
open
It
against
shoots very hard. It has a lot of tanks. It has enough Exorcists to make you worry about it, but not quite so many that he has nearly 600 points in his backfield. So there is that.
We've got John, whose Marines get the glory, but Guard gets the job done. That remains to be seen, John. But I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Lord Solar here. We've got the Militarum Tempestus Command Squad, which has Curves Aquila, which is the Lord of Deceit aura.
Yeah, it's real good.
Increasing stratagem cost. Platoon Command Squad to hang out with one of the troops and Leontis. Then a tank commander, a grand strategist, pumping out those orders. So between him and Leontis, you're covering everything that you need.
Yep, it's five tanks will get orders.
3 Catachan jungle fighters, 2 chimeras, 1 hellhound here, triple Hydra, a new innovation. It's just a very cheap vehicle and shoots okay. 2 Luminous battle tanks for the rerolls, 1 exterminator for the extra AP, double Keelon for the 3.1 away, and then the 10 Scions go with the command squad and do heinous amounts of damage to a lot of things.
He's got 4 Russes, 3 Hydras, 2 transports,
And a hellhound. It's still a lot of tank beef.
A lot of tank.
He hasn't gone full all in on the tanks. He has the Scions and some other tools.
And the Aquilons.
Yep. But it's a lot still.
It's a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff motoring at you. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
We got Redrum here with a £2 super chat. Thank you so much, Redrum. What's the format after the pods? It is a top 16. So if you play the first 4 games and end up winning your pod, you will get into the championship bracket. If you lose any of those games, you will then play your next 4 games outside of the championship pod in the world bracket, and you'll play against like-minded or record.
Yeah. People with the same record as you.
Yep.
Basically.
So that's how it's going to end up working. So there'll be 1 small pod for the championship bracket, and then everybody else will be kind of fighting over glory, over those country points and faction points.
We got the biggest team kill going on right now, which is that Quentin is in the same pod as Nick, and they can both shoot sisters tanks at each other.
They've earned this one.
If 2 people on our team had to play each other, I guess it would have to be the 6 castigators on one table.
So we've got Quentin here with Morven Vol, obviously going to go in some Paragons, St. Celestine here, and then the Triumph of St. Catherine, 2 Battle Sister squads, triple Immolator, triple Castigator, 1 Dominion squad, and 1 unit of Paragons for Vol. So no Seraphim, no Novitiates.
Yeah, he's. It looks like he copied Zach Point's list, actually.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
this should say Zach Point's list.
Of course.
Point for point. Point for point.
I understand that Hot to Go is a hip reference with the kids these days.
I
don't get it.
Didn't even realize. I have no
know.
idea what that means. And I'm not going to look it up because I don't care. That's the privilege of being old.
Yeah. But no, it's the list he's been playing for a while. It is very good. He knows exactly how it works, and he's going to be a force on it. We were joking. He didn't actually copy Zach Point's list, or did he?
Or did he? Then we have Mike Muzzeni. If you've watched any of our last couple months of Thousand Sun streams or followed us at DreamHack, Mike has been on the team for a while now and has been doing really great stuff.
Yeah.
So he's playing his Thousand Suns. This is the army he knows the best. And so he's got Airmen on disc here. He's got Exalted Sorcerer on disc, 2 of them, both with enhancements, the Crystal for teleporting, the Lord of Forbidden Lore for doing the extra ritual, Arcane Vortex on the Infernal Master, and the ever-present Magnus. 5 rubric, 5 rubric, 5 rubric, 5 rubric, 5 rubric. No surprise there.
Pretty good.
You need your Cabal points, you need bodies. 1 Vortex Beast instead of multiple, 2 Cultist units, and 3 Zangor Enlightened. So a bit more cheap trash than you normally see. Basically cuts one of the six rubric squads, goes down to 5 to get that.
I think he's been running 5 for a bit. I think he cut a Mutilith to just basically sacrifice a Mutilith on the altar of the points increases.
No surprise there. You got to cut something, and something that doesn't involve cutting Cabal points, probably the thing you're going to do.
Yeah, I expect to see Mike doing very well.
Yep. Good luck to Mr. Mike here.
And he is, I don't think, in a pod with anybody else on the squad. I don't think he's a pod squad guy.
Let's see.
Find out.
He is in Group 8.
He's in Group 8. Yeah, I don't think there's any other Art of War people. I think it's legitimately, I think it's Sasha and Cass are in the same pod, and then Quentin and Nick are going to battle it out for...
Scary and I are in the same pod.
Scary and you are in the same pod.
And he's playing Drukhari, tried and true. He's playing Real Space Raiders instead of the Sky Splinter. I think he's found the Incubi package is a little too expensive with those increases, but he's got the Archon here. He's going to be in a court. Beastmaster pack, Lilith, ever present, and then Urian Rakarth for his stand back up. He's just annoying to deal with. 10 Kabalites, 1 unit of Rax, 1 unit of Witches, 1 Raider, 2 Venoms, Court of the Archon, double Chronos, 2 small units of Grotesques, 1 unit of, or 2 units of Mandrakes, 1 Ravager, 1 unit of Reavers, 1 unit of Haywire Scourges.
1 unit of Haywire Scourges.
And then 2 Talos. He's basically using the Talos here as the other Scourge units because Talos don't die to Aquilons or the other nonsense at 3.1s away in the game, and Scourges do. If you run 15 Scourges and they get back there,
Aquilons will just murder
you. You lose all your Scourges, you lose your firepower, and you lose it for free, basically.
Russell is also in Pod 11. So Pod 11 is the Art of War Thunderdome. Russell, Sasha, and Cass all battling it out.
Cool. So going to be great to see Mr. Scary there, of course. Then we have Alex McDougall, another one of the Canadian Art of War players.
Biosanctic.
He is playing the Biosanctic.
Biosanctic.
Triple Abominant, one with the Infiltrate. Patriarch here, he's probably going in a big unit of the Pure Strains.
Yep, he's got +1 AP and damage, so he slams. He's damage 3, 6/3/3 with Dev Wounds, +1 attack if he's in a unit on the charge, and Twin Linked.
Yep. Hybrid unit with the auto pistols, so the heavy mining tools, then 1, 2, 3, 4 flamer units, 1 unit of hybrids in the truck, and then 3 units of aberrants for those abominants. He's got 1 heavy mortar ridge runner, and then he went for 2 heavy mining lasers. So not as many heavy mortars as you typically see, trying to get the extra AP on stuff out of line of sight for your charges.
I think...
but he shoots harder from direct line of sight.
Ryan, I believe, Verbeck?
Yeah.
Ryan runs an abnormally large amount of mortars.
Yeah.
Most
it's
people
strong,
I've seen...
I'll tell you.
Yeah, for sure. Most people I've seen go for 1 mortar and 2x2 lasers. It's what I've seen the most.
And then 10 Pure Strains, and then a 5-man.
Pure Strains are really good.
Really strong list here from Alex. I expect him to do super well.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we have a super chat here from Azuma Kazuma. Thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning, gentlemen. Any Templar list? There are 3 Templar players here, and we're going to get to one of them very soon. He's on Art of War, and it is Sasha.
Yeah, he's done well recently in an event.
I believe it's called Trapping People in Combat or something like that.
I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what the list does. It literally just tries to scam as many attempts at trapping you in combat as possible. And then when you get through that, you're like, "Oof, we're done, right?" And he just hits you with these nasty combat units.
Very nasty. So we've got Kyle here with his...
What's the title of the list?
Jack told me this was an incredibly Unforgiven, more like Fun Forgiven. Jack told me this was an incredibly lame list title, but Peanut, his cat, told me it sounded cool, gave me a high five with her paw in a dream I had, so here we are.
I can't...
You have weird dreams. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, Kyle's got some interesting things on his mind.
So Dark Angel of Gladius, Azrael, automatic, Assault Intercessor Squad. Then he has double Ballistus Dreadnought, something you're going to see a lot of in some of these Space Marine lists.
Yep.
15 Deathwing Knights, no surprise there. Infiltrator for screening the backfield. Repulsor, Executioner for some firepower downrange. Double Scout, double Vindicator, shoots real hard, has a lot of durability.
Yep.
Strong Dark Angel.
There's nothing like crazy here. It's a bunch of stats combined in the right way to make like a game of 40K happen. He's got a good amount of shooting. He's got a good amount of combat. He's quite durable. He's got tricks because he's the Gladius. That's what he does.
Speaking of Space Marines, we got Mr. Cass here, who is running the Vanguard Ultramarines, and he's been running Ultramarines for a very long time. That's one of his favorite armies. So he's got the Apothecary Biologus here with Blade Driven Deep for that Infiltrate, Marnius Calgar, Uriel Ventress, classic. Centurion Devs, they're going to do that long-range damage. Company Heroes for Ventress, Eradicators for Calgar, 3-man Eradicators for just kind of mission play, and also can pick away at the edges of things.
Yep.
3 Inceptors, 3 Inceptors, 3 Inceptors, so no 6-man here. He's gone for smaller squads.
Quite expensive.
They do get expensive. He's gone double Infiltrator, really screen his backfield.
He wants to be the only one 3-inch deep striking.
He followed my plan, which is like, I just don't want you back there.
Stop trying to go back there.
Just don't want it. Invader.
Dude, I took 15 to LVO the year I won it. I was just like, stop teleporting, please. No, we come back here.
Do not want to think about
Thank
it.
you.
Invader ATV, a double scout squad here.
Yeah. Something I want to note about, by the way, Kyle's list before we continue on here is that Kyle's not bringing, he's in the Gladius, he's not bringing the Eradicators plus Fire Discipline.
Yep.
And that package gets really expensive. It got more expensive and he ended up cutting it, which I think is a very good choice.
John's tested that as well.
John's tested that as
he
well.
ran the Triple Vindicator instead.
And it's really good.
strong.
It's really scary. But Cass playing the Vanguard, that list is underrated, criminally underrated, I think. And Cass has been playing it for like a year now. So he knows exactly what's up with that list. So I would anticipate if you get teleported on by anyone, you probably don't want to get teleported on by Cass.
Definitely don't. We got Sasha Edelkraut here. He is his title is Prevent Fallback. This is the Black Templars list that we were mentioning.
Yep.
So he's got a Castellan here with Sigismund's seal, or Sigismund. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but people get mad either way.
They do. They really do.
They really do.
I've seen it.
I think it's Sigismund, but
I have no idea.
High Marshal Helbrecht.
Siggy.
He is going to be holding that sword of the High Marshals. Lieutenant Tannhauser's Bones, 5 of Pain. Heavy Intercessor Squad, so sticky objectives and durability. He hasn't gone, I imagine he doesn't have Infiltrators here. Those are his backfield holders.
That sounds probably right, yeah.
Triple Ballistic Dread. You're going to see.
Very tough when it has a 6 of Feel No Pain, especially.
Yep. Black Templar Gladius Lancer. This is the long-range anti-tank one. Unit of Blade Guard. Land Raider Crusader. Get up the table.
Sasha's lists are always wild, and then he does great with them.
5 Sword Brethren and Double Scout, 1 Vindicator, and the Calexis Assassin, which 3-inch deep strikes.
So this list has the 6-man Blade Guard with the Feel No Pain Lieutenant and Helbrecht, which gives them lethal 5s, because Helbrecht gives them crit 5s, and the Lieutenant gives them lethals. And then he gives them strength 6 as well. And then for a CP, they can go into, I think it's accept any challenge, no matter the odds. I forget exactly which one it is, but the sustained hits vow. So you can give that unit sustained lethal 5s. And then the Castellan in the Sword Brethren gives them lethal hits as well. And Sigismund's Seal is if they are in, I think it's accept any challenge, then they get sustained 5s as well. So use a couple of units in there that can get sustained lethal 5s and just put the beats down on people.
And then stop you from falling back.
Which I'm okay with because it's non-vehicle and my whole army is vehicles. But most people, their whole army is not vehicles.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have Russell here. He was with us at DreamHack. He's going to be running Chaos Demons instead of CSM. So let's see what he's got in here. He's got Bellicor, the Great Unclean One with Endless Gift. He's got a Keeper Seekers with the Soul Stealer enhancement. Shalaxi Hellbane. So there's some hard-hitting demons up here. And then the Selesky can stand back up, which is very strong. She also hits pretty decent in a squad of Demonettes. And then the Mask of Slanesh, which I believe is a -1 attack aura or something, or pick a unit for -1 attack. Some sort of debuff.
Oh, the Mask? Yeah, you pick an enemy unit and either your Slanesh units get +1 to wound against it, or it gets -1 to wound against you.
Or -1 to wound. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of strong debuff to manipulate combat. 10 Demonettes, 2 units of Plague Bearers holding objectives, 1 unit of Flamer, 1 unit of Seeker, so super light on trash here, but this is some of the hardest hitting demons that you can bring. And
Shalaxi, Bellicor, Gua with a 4 Feel No Pain, Keeper, Secrets of Soul Stealer, Selesky. That's going to be really annoying to deal with forever. Is unfortunate to be on the other end of the demon thing. I think we're gonna try and get him on stream a couple times with this demon list.
Yeah, he should be coming over to the stream house again. We'll get a few more games with him. And I know he wants to test out those demons into a wide variety of armies.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we've got Brian Jones here. He is, in fact, back on his Knights instead of the Votan. Sad for that, but he loves Knights, and you can't blame him because they're gorgeously painted.
He does a phenomenal job with that army.
Chaos Knights, Canis Rex, not Chaos Knights. What is that heresy? It's heresy. Canis Rex is the man. He is in every Knight list. No surprise. He's also in a lot of
non-Knight lists.
Imperium lists. Then we have 2 Atropos here. We've been talking up the 2 Atropos list. It can be inconsistent because of random number of shots, but when it pops off, super good against monsters vehicles. And
there's a lot of those right now.
A lot of those in the meta, and on top of that, it also has an invuln in combat, so it just doesn't immediately get eviscerated by combat armies. 2 Warglaves here. Double Assassin, Calidus Calexis, 1 unit of agents, Inquisitorial agents, 1 Subductor squad. And so decent amount of trash here, but really relying on those big boys.
Yeah, if those big boys get...
they pop off on their shooting.
Woo! They actually do a lot of damage.
A lot.
And what are they? +1 to hit and wound vehicles? +1 to hit vehicles? Rerolls to hit vehicles? Something against vehicles. Which one is it?
I think it is +1 to hit against vehicles and +1 to wound if it's Titanic, or +1 damage if it's Titanic.
Cerastus Knight Atropos.
It's some good roll.
Every time it makes an attack, the target's a monster or vehicle, +1 to hit. If that target is Titanic or towering, +1 to wound. And then when it gives its bondsman ability out, every time that model makes an attack, the target's a Titanic or towering, you reroll the hit and wound. Which used to matter because you used to be able to give that to a little guy and then get it your own dang self and go +1 to hit and wound, reroll hits and wounds. But you can't do that. Also, there's no Titanic in this meta, really. Except for him.
Not really, yeah.
And if his models are shooting each other, I think he has messed up on a much deeper level.
Yeah, even Chaos Knight lists still really aren't running the Big Knight. And in terms of other Titan, like the Lord of Skulls kind of really isn't seen that much anymore. So, yeah. All right, Redrum with a €5 super chat. Thank you so much, Redrum. Appreciate your continued support. Richard, you should check the lists by Max Cantor and Tim Schneider. Those are Votan German Menace lists.
Menace.
I watched him play last week at the Raccoon Rumble in Germany. It's a Raccoon Rumble, man.
Okay, all right.
It was in Germany.
I don't know how they do it over there.
200-person event. I got to watch the Votan on stream. None of the Votan ended up winning, but they did play really well, and it was very interesting to see. You can tell on the terrain, it's a terrain style where you can use Berserks better than you can use other things. On US Open terrain, if you happen to play on the boards where the ruins are very far apart, think layout 4, layout 6, you're just going to be in for a bad time. Yep. Because they are not going to get where they need to go. So terrain matters a lot for list design.
I was very impressed with Berserks on WTC terrain. I'll tell you that much.
The thing is, you can't charge block them, so they just charge the front of the ruin.
Yeah, and there's also ruins staged at a point where you can't hit the transport, but the transport can charge onto like 2 different objectives. The guys inside can charge onto like 2 different objectives. And so if you walk on there, he just has an easy delete your unit button that is pretty good.
Yep. So very much all about tailoring for your actual terrain. Then we have Aldari here, Matt Shuckman.
Matt Shuckman.
You invited a Wraith.
Shuck-Matman.
Well, we might have another Titanic model here. We've got the Autarch Wayleaper with Phoenix Gem, Avatar of Cain, and the Farseer Skyrunner. 10 Guardians, double Fire Prism, 1 unit of Shroud Runners, Striking Scorpions, 2 units of those.
Yep, 2 units of Swooping Hawks.
Double Hawks, 1 Warwalker unit, and the Wraith Knight.
Yeah, so he has gone a very similar approach to a lot of people and gone with a lot of anti-tank.
And you can fire and fade it.
Yes, you can, and it is very tough. And did he include Fortune? Can you scroll up?
He doesn't have a Foot Farseer.
He does not have a Foot Farseer. I know he was considering it, but he ended up not going with one.
It's a lot of resources in his backfield.
It is. It's 90 points, I believe, or 80, something like that. I think it's 80 points.
Although that would let him stand the Wraith Knight out in the open and fire and fade the Fire Prism instead. That sticks out.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here. Matt's been playing a variation like this for a while, so he is a master of it. He has an absolutely ridiculous amount of anti-tank in this army. The Avatar will flip a guard army on its head by himself. Just like shoot 1 to death, charge 1 to death, Overwatch 1 to death, shoot 1 to death, charge 1 to death, Overwatch 1 to death. And then the Wraith Knight will just smoke a tank every single time. 2 if it's feeling a little risky, and then you have 2 Fire Prisms. So he will absolutely tool on Leman Russes with this list. Aquilons are the only issue. I forget exactly what his plan is, but he has plans for them. I remember I've talked to him quite a bit.
Storm Guardian sticky objectives, right? Guardians don't?
Guardian Defenders get you a fate die every time you start a turn with them on an objective, which is very good for this list because the Avatar is just like, give me all those fate dice. The
Warwalker could hold the objective. That thing is annoying to kill for.
Yeah, it's just -1 to wound.
Yeah. And
if they can throw a grenade and shoot it, but they don't get lethals because it's a vehicle, so the odds they kill it very, very low.
Very low. Logan asks, you guys keep saying Sasha's on Art of War, but he's the captain of Dumpster Fire. He has been on Art of War since the Dallas DreamHack event. He's played at both of the DreamHack events with us. However, when Art of War isn't going to a team event or where he's just going to an event with Dumpster Fire, he's still the captain of their team. He's still playing with them. He's still going to go to team events with them. But anytime Art of War is going to some of the bigger team events, he's definitely invited to come and hang out with us because he's an amazing guy. He also has great taste in board games, and is doubly so handsome.
Spirit Island, good board game. If anyone's looking for board game Rex,
we were all getting our flights delayed. Well, not all of us. It was Jack, myself, and Sasha. We were getting our flights delayed. Sasha brought us into the legendary CEO club, double gold standard back room of airport area.
Yeah, it was like
Jack and I were like, whoa.
You just got to get free drinks and food, and I was like, what is happening?
Jack and I were like, what is
we
even
set
going
up
on?
a board game and played it, and it was great. It was great. We almost missed our flight. We were having so much fun.
We almost missed our delayed flights, which would have been embarrassing.
Because our flight got delayed by an hour. We're like, all right, back to gaming. And then we almost missed that one. And we got Charlie Blowers in the chat, who I will be playing later today. We're getting his Imperial Agents on stream.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be released in the War Room in a week or so. So if you're looking for Imperial Agents content, Charlie's one of the people playing the most with them.
He's been doing very well with them, too. If you really get the best out of that list, like if you really try your hardest, then you can get some really good things out of there, actually.
Last but not least, one of our newest
Wait
members.
a minute. Hold on. Michael Mann's playing Orcs?
Michael Mann is playing some Orcs here, and he is playing the Dread Mob, which you definitely didn't see coming.
No, not at all. I thought he was a lock for T-Sons, but no.
He's playing the Dread Mob here. So Big Mech with shock attacks. The Git Finder goggles. I don't know what that does.
He finds the gets. What do you want?
It's goggles that find the gits.
You find gets. I have the codex on my phone.
Double Mech and then Zodgrog. So he's going to have some Gretchen here, which is right there. 20 Gretchen for Zodgrog.
Was it Git Finder?
The Git Finder goggles. Then we got Gretchen.
Ignores cover to his unit.
Gretchen, lots of Gretchen. Tank, truck. Flash gits, 10 flash gits. Big unit of Killicans, unit of Ludas. Mech gun.
Yeah, it's a good list.
It
shoots way harder than those profiles look like, because it all like rerolls hits, sustained hits, +1 AP. +1 to wound, +1 damage, +1 something. I don't know, man. There's a lot of buffs in there, and I don't know what any of them are. I know that you get rerolls to hit and sustained hits on Ludas, and I think that's what makes the Big Mech with shock attack gun like really, really cook. But man, it shoots way harder than the profiles look like, and there's a lot of it, and they do not stop shooting, and you can't tag them and stop them from shooting, so they'll just fall back into a transport, and the transport shoots you, and then... Man, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And not many people are going to have reps against this.
I have 0.
Yeah.
Just for
not
the
a lot
record.
of Dread Mobs out there.
No, I dread the Dread Mob.
Awesome. Well,
all right.
Those are all the people associated with Art of War for the most part. There's obviously amazing players internationally and in the U.S. that we haven't mentioned here, but we can't go through every single list. If you want to check out the list, head over to Best Coast Pairings, where you can find them if you have the subscription. Otherwise, we'll definitely be doing more content leading up to the World Champs, talking more about kind of expectations and different things that are going to happen. And after the event, we're almost certainly going to be doing some amount of recaps and other types of videos analyzing the event and our performances and the games we played. So if you want to see more of that, definitely check out the War Room at thewarroom.vhx.tv. If you want to see more than that, guess what? There's amazing stuff like Jack Theory. There's some fantastic battle reports. Yesterday we had Ultramarines Vanguard versus Monka Tau. We also had Grey Knights versus GSC released recently. Hype games. There's, I believe, releasing today is it's Astra Militarum versus Sisters, Triple Exorcist into the Guard,
which is a very topical game.
Very topical, top tier matchup. So
yes, it is. It is Guard into Nick's Sisters. Triple Exorcist.
And it was a really good, tight game.
Really good game.
So if you want to check that out, as well as post-game analyses videos from each player, head over to thewarroom.vhx.tv. There's a 3-day free trial to check it out, and you also get access to all that other content and our international Discord community. What's not to love about it? Please check it out. We really appreciate that. And then if you are joining us on this YouTube stream, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. All of that massively helps us grow. In addition, leave a comment below letting us know if you're excited for WCW, or you're going to follow along with the streams, how you're feeling about the meta, what you're most excited to see, all that stuff. We definitely love hearing your comments and your feedback and what you're enjoying the most. That really warms our hearts.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you hanging out with us. Appreciate all the super chats and the gifted memberships. And we will see you all very soon for more content. You all have a great one, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
So long for now.